Welcome, everyone, to the group of autograph addicts. This is the Autographers Anonymous podcast, and we get together to talk about our autograph addiction. Let's go around the room.
What's up, guys? It's Mike from the Autograph Network, a.k.a. The Godfather. And sorry, Saints fans, you would have won if Drew Brees would sign TTM for me.
Ooh. What is up, Autograph Nation? TTM Troy, a.k.a. Troy Rudder. And, I'm just got to say, I am really looking forward to spending 55 cents on stamps starting next week.
And I'm Zane Savage, and I went from being a lumberjack to looking like a backup dancer for NSYNC. All right. We just want to remind you guys, this is back on a bi-weekly schedule. So if you noticed, 2 weeks ago we did a show, and 2 weeks from now we're going to do another show. So we're back on schedule. Hopefully that will not change for a long time. And also want to remind you, this is the Case Against episode. I know you guys like your favorite episodes or the Case Against episodes. So the Case Against is happening later in this episode. So stay tuned. On to the new returns. Michael.
New returns. All right. As you guys know from the past couple shows, I'm going to be purchasing a few more autographs this year. So it's not strictly TTM stuff I can't get in through the mail. We'll start with this guy, Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca. This was purchased directly from him on his website at a very reasonable price. I think it ended up being like $50 shipped, but somebody in the original Star Wars cast take advantage of that because he is way up there in age and not healthy. Hate to say that, but a couple more purchases. You guys know that Mean Gene passed away a couple weeks ago, so I'm trying to pick up some of these guys. Howard Finkel, longtime WWE ring announcer with the Hall of Fame inscription. And what was nice, I got that off eBay, and I got a bonus. Earl Hebner, longtime WWF referee, then went to Impact after his departure.
You literally got two people that I've met in your first two. Here, let me show you a picture real fast. There's me and Mr. Mayhew. So I wanted to show that off. Can everybody see it? Right there. So that's me and Mr. Peter Mayhew. His hands are gigantic, by the way. And I also met Finkel because I was at a WWE event, and I had like second row seats, and I was screaming my head off at some of the wrestlers. And he came over and he's like, "Real good job at heckling, man." And we had a little conversation and stuff. So,
Nice.
Yeah, go on. Just want to throw that in.
Awesome. I actually bought this from one of our fellow collectors, Sid. This is a Darth Maul Ray Park. It is inscribed to Frankie, but I did not have him in my collection. This was signed at one of the conventions. So
That's Mike's drunk alter ego. Don't let him call him
Frankie.
Frankie?
So I think that was pretty much it for purchases. I purchased some cards, but we'll talk about that later. Get into the TTM returns. This one had been out so long, I couldn't even tell you how many years, but I finally got in Don King.
Fake news.
Fake news. And he sent a nice little postcard, Don King, only in America. So I sent to both his homes in Florida and Las Vegas, and I don't know where that one came from. So,
is his logo a crown because his hair is so spiky?
Yes,
I wonder.
Don King
And the King.
Yep.
So is that okay? So it's okay.
A little bit of
Yes.
both. It's like his hair, a crown,
It's like his hair
and,
and King. That's like the perfect logo then.
and it says Don below it. So very cool. I did get this one in. This is not my SASE. This is from the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Oh, subpoena for Mike to go.
Yeah, nothing legal. This is Clarence Thomas. Supreme Court Justice. This is like maybe a 9x6. This is one he sent, but he did sign my 2 photos. 4x6 in silver. There he is in his official justice robe, and signed a picture of the Supreme Court Justice building.
It's good. I would have expected an auto pen from the Supreme Court, because I know they auto pen sometimes, but the inscription obviously
They
side.
definitely some variations. I thought the same thing. I'm like, no way this could be real, but
he actually said more on that inscription than he has in the last 10 cases on the Supreme Court. Fun fact.
Everything else is out of envelopes except for this one, because I wanted to show this. This guy is a thorn in the TTM community. Spanky Taylor.
Oh.
If you guys ever see this, just throw it away. 100% auto pen.
Yep.
Billy Crystal. And he is not the only celebrity that he reps. It's as bad as Studio fan mail.
I've seen authentic crystals come through, though. I don't know what qualifies them getting sent to Spanky, but I've seen. Have you ever seen authentic crystals? Because I think
I have one somewhere. I got one back that's definitely authentic, but these are 100% auto pen.
I wonder what decides that, though. I wonder what, like, okay, going to Spanky, going to Billy. Like, what's the determining factor? You gotta buff up that fan letter, bro.
They don't look marvelous. They just don't look marvelous.
He does not like my form letter. All right, so I took everything else out of the envelope so you won't hear the paper crunching. Let's go through these. Harry Potter return. I love the Harry Potter stuff because we're going to Universal Studios. If you guys haven't been, the Harry Potter worlds are phenomenal. But this is Genevieve Gaunt. She is one of the Slytherins. I can almost say it. There you go.
Slytherin.
There you go. Thank you.
Another fun joke. I actually met Draco Malfoy, and he had a pickup line that he used on chicks, and I forget the exact line, but he said something about my bed's over here. Do you want to slither in?
Nice.
It was like one of his pickup lines he used for the ladies.
I thought you were going to say something about a wand or something. So
no wand. Slither in. Get it? Slither in.
Yeah,
I think it's more clever.
All right. Carla Overbeck. She was part of the, what was that, 1999?
I think it was 99.
The women's World Cup team that won. And there they are on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That was an awesome World Cup. That was the Brandi Chastain.
Take off her shirt.
Yep. Very cool return, Star Wars. This is Ren Kleiss, and he's a sound guy. He did a lot of work on the new movies, The Last Jedi. But Ren Kleiss, that's kind of where they got the name Kylo Ren.
That's cool.
Unfortunately, used a silver marker and most of it rubbed off. But just cool inscriptions. He's at Skywalker Ranch, and he did send this pretty cool postcard. That's actually Skywalker Ranch.
Does he live there with George?
He might. I don't. It's a cult, so I don't think they let people out.
They should make it like a sitcom on that. George and Kylo, or whatever his name is.
They're like Scientologists. They don't ever leave.
Okay, hey, now we're hating on religions. We shouldn't do this. Gonna lose subscribers, guys.
All right, here we go. Moving on. Might not recognize him. The name Bill Wyman, but he was one of the original members of the Rolling Stones. So about 1963, he only signed one, but I think he was one of the original bassists for the Rolling Stones.
Well, so I'm not surprised he only signed one.
Yeah. Part of my 1980 USA Olympic team. This is the doctor. He is 97 years old. But this is George Nega, and he signed the Lake Placid poster, which I sent to everyone. The cover of the Sports Illustrated, which I sent to everyone. He has a book. This is part of the cover of the book, but there he is with Jimmy Craig, and he sent a very cool business card. Cover up his information, but it's the actual team physician card.
Cool.
So
Send out
very
those
cool.
book plates, man. Come on. Get your book plate game on.
Book plates. Boo. I got this today. Hall of Fame candidate Tom Flores coached the Raiders in their only Super Bowl win. Seattle Seahawks, and was also a player back in the day. So he's up for being in the Hall of Fame. They haven't elected him yet. With donation, Ryan Sandberg, Rhino, spank these in blue.
Still be my 91 Don Russ, I think, with him.
I got this today also. Pretty good player. He was with the Marlins, but this is Dan Ugla.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended his career with the Braves.
Supposed to be hard when your name rhymes with damn ugly.
It's so ugly. This one came in today also. I've got them in the past, and I'll show you this one first. This is Jim Otto, Hall of Famer. But if you see in the inscription, HOF 1980, which is correct. On this one, Jim Otto, Hall of Fame, 1982. Not
maybe a different
correct.
Hall of Fame. Maybe a different Hall of Fame. College, maybe?
Both of them are HOFs. I thought maybe a lot of guys will do that with college, but I think he just got his.
I've seen that before. I've seen people mess up Hall of Fame numbers before, but usually they're older and senile. How old is that guy?
He's up there in age, so
yeah. So maybe it's just a mistake.
Yeah, it could be. Another Hall of Famer, and he spanked these also. Mike Ditka. Of course, he was the coach for the Chicago Bears in 1985. But
the Bears.
If you can see the inscription, the coach on that one. And he was a player for the Bears, and he spanked it with the Hall of Fame. What is that? 1988. So nice to get inscriptions on those. A few more here.
You mean the co-star of Kicking and Screaming? Is that what you meant by that last one?
Well, was that a Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah, he's the star of Kicking and Screaming. That's the most famous accolade, right?
James Forbes Clark, probably don't recognize the name, but she is the Hall of Fame chairperson, Baseball Hall of Fame. Her grandfather actually founded the Hall of Fame, and she basically runs it these days. So she's in all the pictures with everyone that gets inducted. That's Ken Griffey Jr. And send a nice little, got a bookmark sign there.
I'm just going to say that it seems like the quality of the faces on the plaques are going downhill a bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Looking a little weirder these days. Maybe it's just because it's modern players. Like it's the classic players, you kind of have a general. You didn't see them on TV all the time, but these modern players you saw on TV all the time, and then you see their little statue thing on the plaque, and it's like, I don't know. It kind of looks like the guy.
Getting a little rough.
Yeah. Take a look
right.
at those if you guys have the extra time. Good.
Ron Guidry finally returned these. This was out a while. Great picture for the Yankees. And blown up Diamond King card. Love these. Don Russ.
Send it off to Dick Perez.
This one was out a long time. Walking Dead, Emma Bell. That was like season 1. Nice autograph note on the photo. and she was also in one of the Final Destination movies. And last one that I'll show, in one of the Facebook forums, somebody sent these into, I think it was PSA, and they failed them, which I'm shocked. So it could be a case against candidate, but this is former President Jimmy Carter in the Oval Office with the late Ted Kennedy, and a dual sign with his wife Rosalind, and there's Jimmy over there. So like I said, it matches up perfectly to what I have, stuff that's passed. We know third party makes mistakes, and I think they did on that one, because I've never seen anything that says he's using a secretarial. But
I don't think he would use a secretary. I think if something happened, Rosalind would probably sign for him. But like, I'm with you. They had to make a mistake.
yeah, so we can discuss that another time, but just thought I'd bring it up. That's pretty much all I'll show. I've got some other stuff, but we'll move on to Troy.
Troy boy.
Well, mine will go fast. I haven't really sent anything out in a few months, so I'm kind of getting residuals now. This one came in. If you saw my Instagram, I don't think I've done a video for it yet, but we got Iowa boy Brandon Routh on an 8x10. This was about a year, I believe. The previous 8x10 I showed you was also to Iowa superhero Jason Momoa. So they were both from the same town, and they both must be home for Christmas. So they both came back. The other thing was a autograph of the month. We talked about that a couple shows ago. Ooh, you can see the reflection of my monitor there. There's Mike kind of down in the corner.
There's Troy's password.
What? This was Karen Fukuhara, who was Katana in Suicide Squad, I guess. So that was their autograph of the month. And then a couple real TTMs that just came in. Daniel Colombe from the A's. There. It's kind of hard to see. And World Series champion, Rick Dempsey.
Nice. He takes a while.
I did not look this up, so if you can humor me for 1 second.
Not Dale Murphy long, though.
Rick
Close.
Dempsey. Should have done this beforehand. Rick Dempsey. Those were only 160 days for Rick
that's not
Dempsey.
bad.
So
Not even close to Murphy.
No.
So signed one and included this one himself. I always think it's fun. I don't know. Those cards that are pre-autographed and you have them autograph the real thing on there. I don't know what that says on there. I don't know if you guys know what that says.
88 World Series.
Is that what it is?
What did it say? World Series?
Or
Yeah.
80 World Series?
Might be. Only one of them.
Something
Yeah.
WS.
Only one of them has it. So anyway, but that's all I got. I'm starting to prep for spring training now for stuff to send out in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. And yeah, so hopefully
Prepare to be disappointed about spring training again. Yay!
Nah.
And then be like, everybody gets one like later, like at the end of the baseball season, like a spring training success comes through that's big, and they're like, "Yay!"
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I could beat the Mark McGuire from 2 seasons ago. I might try Juan Soto just to give it a try, but
You could get somebody that didn't do steroids. That would probably be better. All right, I guess it's my turn. It's my turn. I'm taking over. Okay. So I got a TTM return this week, but I can't show it to you because it's on my little private cards that has all my personal info on it. You know, my little special little card trick that I thought was going to work but didn't work. I got another success, and it was from Chris Novoselic, who was the bassist for Nirvana. So that was a nice little return. One of the few returns I got that wasn't a coach. Most of them I've got back were coaches. So it was kind of nice to get that in the mail. I was like, oh, yeah, those are out there floating in the ether somewhere. Maybe they'll float in over the next 10 years. And since I guess I want to show you guys something. I got something cool on my desk. As you guys know, I do the fabric fobs, so I get like movie costumes and stuff in all the time. And I got this in, and these are supposed to be for my wife, but they got broke before they got shipped. Like the part that's broken is not even on the thing. So these are J-Lo's earrings that she wore in Second Act. So there those are. But the little thing broke on that. So my wife was very disappointed that she didn't get to wear J-Lo's earrings. But I have broken earrings now, so I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with those. Maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. I don't know. But that's really all I got on returns. I got the one TTM and I got broken earrings. So what you got to do? Also, I want to mention that Mike had a beer before the show, so I thought it'd be a good idea to get a beer too. I didn't have beer, so I went downstairs and found a bottle of wine. I'm halfway through that puppy, so this may be an interesting show. Just throwing that out there.
I have water, so really
water, vodka.
Right.
So we're gonna move on to the next segment, which is our topic of the day, and this is a topic that's kind of weird because I had the idea in my head, but I couldn't put it into words. So I made a convoluted title for you. It's called the devaluation of the low-end market. And you're like, what the hell are you talking about, man? This is basically the value of lower-end players who are not all-stars and how cheap you can get autographs nowadays of those players. I know back when I started collecting back in the 90s, even the low-end players could get several bucks. It was a big deal to have an autograph. Obviously, the internet wasn't as big as it is now. I think that's a major part of it. But now you can just go online, and any like person that played 1 or 2 years in the league, you can get a certified auto for like 50 cents, sometimes 25 cents. Sometimes people throw them in for free. So I kind of wanted to talk about how that is kind of changing how we collect, because I know a lot of people do TTMs of older players and card sets, and how it's kind of devaluing those cards you get in from TTMs. I used to think when I started this back when I was in junior high, I was like, it's a win-win. You send a TTM, and the autograph you get back is definitely worth more than a dollar, which you put into the stamps. Nowadays, not really, and that's part of the reason is the devaluation. So what do you guys think? Give me some thoughts around this subject.
I'm not big in the card community on YouTube, but there are guys that will buy cases and cases chasing, the big hit. Well, those companies can only put in so many of those big names. So what do they do to fill the guarantees? They put in, the cheap names. And it's not just baseball. It's every product that's out there that says there's a guaranteed autograph in every box. And that's what's driven down the low price. I talked about some cards, we talked about this in our prep, but the wrestling autographs are the same thing. Everyone's chasing the Hulk Hogan, but I picked these up for maybe a buck a piece. These are all TNA autographs, certified. And these guys were stars back when TNA was, competing with WWE. But now, you can get them for next to nothing. And that's part of these big names that are out there in the chase. But as a collector, I love this because these are autographs that I watched all these guys wrestle and I didn't have their autograph. And a lot of them do not sign TTM. So I can try, pick up a base card and then, 50 cents right now, a stamp each way. So I'm in $1 there, 50 cents for the base card, or I can pick up a certified autograph for $1. So
right.
And it's a win-win for us.
But this is also affecting the players that weren't all-stars, what they do after they retire. Like I was talking to them before the show. about how I would go to card shows back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and Andy Bennis might be there, and I'd drive an hour to see Andy Bennis and pay 25 or 30 bucks to get something signed. Nowadays, it's not a thing because people just go online and buy a certified auto for $1. I mean, unless you wanted to meet the person, but again, they're not all stars. They're just, normal players. I feel like it's really affecting that market of doing cons. Like we talked about the con circuit before. Actors have it a little easier because they're not locked into signing contracts with trading card companies. All these players, if you're a player in any major league, like baseball, basketball, hockey, wrestling, all those, you're locked into contracts to sign trading cards. That's part of what you do. And you get money from it. But what it does is if you don't make it big, your certified autographs are out there for so cheap that once you go on a circuit to sign autographs, I mean, you can't really charge a lot if you can get your autograph for $1 on eBay. So I guess the wrestlers, it would hurt the worst because they're the most notorious for going to signings and stuff. There's not a lot of baseball players or football players that do that anymore unless they're Hall of Famers, and they're charging exorbitant amounts. And most of that is just to go say, I met Jerry Rice. It's not really for the autograph. It's to say, I met Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver ever.
It's not just cons, though. Like people that we send TTMs to, if they charge through the mail, they send you a price list. Let's Whitey Ford, let's say he charges $25 through the mail. He'll sign your card. Well, shit, you can go on eBay and pick up a certified autograph for $10.
Yeah, so and I don't think it affects them as much though, because somebody might be willing to do that for a special item for Whitey Ford. Now, for like somebody that's never made the All-Star game, are you willing to pony up $10 for them? Maybe to complete a set, but not to complete an item. Like somebody might be trying to get the classic 60s Yankees or something, so they would pony that up easily for Whitey Ford. I'm talking about these low-end people that really have no leg to stand on anymore now that so many certified, I almost call them garbage autos, but they're not. Like they're better autos than you would get TTM. But so much of that stuff is out there that the market's just not there for them to charge. It's really going to hurt this next generation coming up. Like these people retiring that they're coming out of the 2000s, those are the people that's really going to hurt because they aren't going to have any leg to stand on charging TTM or at a con or a baseball card show. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I guess you could have a thing where you could answer questions and pay $1 for a question or something. I don't know what you do. Seriously, you have to find something else to do because that's not. I don't think it's an option.
I ran into this with. They had some of the Cubs. I think it was Cubs come through. I don't know, but Andre Dawson was coming through, right, and to Des Moines, and I was like, oh, I have the 91 Don Russ. You go to his website, you say, oh, he's charging, I think it was $30 to go meet him and get your card signed or whatever. But through Pass Pros, he's $7. And so you're like, well, what's the payoff? The meeting a person, So even people like they are kind of hurting themselves in that respect, but
they don't have a choice.
The
modern
things
players,
like the Walmart. The freaking Walmart holiday cards, which is kind of, hobby boxes are one thing when you're talking about like $150, $200, $300 hobby box, you still get junk, but like the Walmart holiday boxes that were 2 autographs or relics per box, that is you open it and you're like, no idea who this is, you know, it's like, were they even in the regular set? And they were, but anybody who buys one of those, they just see that autograph. And I have I have a bunch of football autographs from something called I've never actually seen them in stores, but HIT, HIT.
Yep.
And one autograph in a pack for crying out loud. And you open it and you're like, who? I think the best one that I have ever seen and I have was like Jordan Rogers from one of the hits, but everybody else, no. And multiples of them, like constantly the people that, you're not going to see. So,
I'm just, I just feel, I mean, like I said, for collectors, it's great. Like you can really just clean up the market and get whoever you want. If you were a fan of that guy that never made the All-Star team, you're in hog heaven. Also, I've talked about before how I do these like bet buys where I buy low on somebody that's still playing, hoping that their career has an upswing, and then you sell high. So also for cheap certifieds, you know, that also comes into play and is handy for collectors. For collectors, this is not a problem. I'm not saying it's a problem for collectors. I'm saying it's a problem for the people that didn't make the All-Star team and are those lower end people that had a small money maker after they retired. And especially now, the people that played during the certified era, probably 2002 on, where every player was signing. If you played in that era, I don't know what you could do autograph related because you're kind of screwed if you weren't an all-star.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give us your thoughts if you have any on Facebook or Twitter. If you think we're wrong, we'd like to hear from you. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're right. We're going to go ahead and move on from the topic. I thought it was a fun topic. I like those little weird niche topics that a lot of people don't delve into. We're going to move on to our worst titled segment of the show, TTM Tool Reviews. Wow. So epic. And this week, Mike's got a box to show us.
Yeah. So
what's in the box?
This is kind of along the same lines as Troy did with the autograph of the month. This is a Zobi box, ZOBI, and it's a community on Facebook, and they have eBay stores, but they do mystery boxes. It's more than autographs. It's for a collector, I think. There is an autograph item. This was the December box. I'll show this. If you go to www.shopzobi.com, ZOBIE.com, you can get more information. They do, I think this month they're doing a wrestling box. There's pop culture. There's horror. There's a lot of horror stuff. But like I said, it's not a strictly autograph item. It's a collectible. I think the box I bought was $40, and I'll show you everything I got in. First, I got a nice Zobi Santa hat. This was just a add-in item for the December box. This is the autograph item I got. It is JSA certified, but this is from the Karate Kid. Actually, this is from Cobra Kai, but this is William Zabka, who played Johnny.
Zabka?
Zabka. Zabka.
I only know that because of How I Met Your Mother. And
okay.
Yeah.
So this was my autograph item. It's a nice 8x10. Came in the folder I get. It is JSA certified. So that was the autograph item. Like I said, there are other items. This is a collector's pin, artist edition. It's creepy. A Grinch pin.
Oh my gosh, that'll haunt my dreams forever.
which is cool because we're big Disney people, so we collect pins. So that will actually go on our board. There was an artist print, and the theme was Home Alone. This is limited to 400, and this is number 36 out of 400, signed by the artist. So you got the limited edition print. One of the themes was The Empire Strikes Back, and this is very cool. It's a Han Solo in carbonite Christmas ornament.
Is it serial numbered?
It is. It's numbered on the back to 500. This is $4.99, but this is pretty cool. Like I said, it's not all autograph related. There's collectibles. There's a variant of the pin you could have got that was limited to 100. So that's the variation. There's also upgrades that you can get. This wouldn't be one of the upgrades. Let's see, where am I at here? It's an artist signed Donatello Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pick. And like I said, they have different themes. They're on eBay. They have 99-cent auctions, so they'll list. They do a lot of private signings. They do Funko Pops, different props, a lot of horror stuff signed by like people from Friday the 13th, like the machetes and stuff. But they'll take some of the inventory, started at 99 cents, and for whatever it sells, it sells. When I first got introduced to Zobi, it was a smaller community, and I was able to grab some of the 99-cent auctions. I got some 8x10s for a decent price. Since then, it really has grown. So you are paying, probably about regular price now for some of the auctions. But if you guys want to check them out, shop Zobi, ZOBIE.com. Check out their mystery boxes, check out their eBay auctions, and get in on the fun. It was, I think, $40 and got a nice autograph, JSA certified, and some collectibles. So,
and just so you guys know, we're not sponsored by any of these companies. We're testing everything out on our own to let you guys know the truth and how we feel about everything. So,
yeah, this was something I decided to do on my own. And since we were talking about stuff like this, I thought I'd share. Like I said, I'm not in contact with anybody at Zobi. This was just something I did, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, we'll have to tackle this company I heard of called Star Tiger sometime. Might have to team up on that one. Okay, good TTM tool review. So we're going to move on to the giveaway, which absolutely nobody entered last week.
Aww.
So I'm like, okay, what are we doing wrong here, guys? We're telling people to go to Facebook, telling people to go to Twitter. They don't know where to click. So I made this very simple for you listeners, okay? We have a website, okay? You can get there two ways. Autographersanonymous.com. It's a lot of words. If you don't want to type that in, go to graphersaa.com. Takes you the same place, both of them do. And on the right-hand side, we have a giveaway button that you can click. Okay? So autographersanonymous.com or graphersaa.com. Click the giveaway button on the right and fill in the form. In the form at the bottom will be the question for the week. It also has your information and stuff. So if you win, we can just go ahead and send out your item. And the giveaway for this week is the same as last week. Plus I added a card because I'm like, hey, we got to get people to do these giveaways. Come on. So the McMahon, which I'm surprised nobody wanted this freaking Ed McMahon certified auto. It's pretty sweet. It's from Donruss Americana. And I'm also throwing in a Spider-Man Homecoming certified auto from Salinas Leyva. She's famous mostly for Orange is the New Black. She's in that show. But she was also in Spider-Man. So you get both of those. And you know what? Stacy's not here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, those two 8x10s that Stacy said you could pick from last week or last show? You get both of them. I'm going to make them give you both. So that's 4 autographs, guys. If you want to win 4 autographs, ship you, all you got to do is go to autographersanonymous.com or graphersaa.com, same place. Click on the right-hand side, click the giveaway link, and fill out the form, answer the question. Boom, you're entered. Easy as that. So the question, again, same question this week, and next week we'll answer our answer to this question. What is your best TTM experience or IP experience of all time? And then we say experience, not necessarily the biggest, most famous return, but the most generous or the one that sticks in your mind as very unique. That's what we're looking for. So give us your story. We'll read your stories off next show, and hope to God we have a winner. Well, I mean, it's 4 autographs we're giving away. Pretty high quality autographs. I don't have the names of Stacy's chick 8x10s he was giving away, but they were good. So you'll get both of those. Get both of my cards, Ed McMahon and Salinas Leyva. Yeah, that's her name. So enter, please, for the love of God. Okay. So that's it for the giveaway segment. We're going to move on to the segment everybody has waited for. The segment that everybody loves. The segment that everybody gets angry when we don't do every show, but we're only 3 or 4 guys, depending on what show it is. This is the case against, and this is the case against Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
So Wayne Gretzky beat Bob Dole, to my disappointment. And over the past week,
old man,
dude, Bob Dole had some votes though. He didn't go out without a swinging. He was up there, but Gretzky won clearly. And we spent the last week doing research, and we're about to bring you our findings. You know what? I'm going to go first with this because I have some photo evidence, and you guys can play off that. So I'm going to switch myself to some screen capture here. If you're listening on the podcast and you want to see our video evidence, just check out our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type in Autographers Anonymous, and you can see what other people are about to see live. Here we go. So, Wayne Gretzky, the story of Wayne Gretzky. He grew up a young boy in no, I'm kidding. So, Wayne Gretzky was notorious for sending out auto pens, and he has for years and years and years. And even the knuckleheads are like, I go to authentic Wayne Gretzky on Star Tiger. Everybody's like, no, you got an auto pen. Well, recently, people have been getting in hand-signed autographs from Wayne Gretzky, and the question is, are they authentic? Here you see the classic auto pen signature, and we're going to move on to another classic auto pen signature. If this looks like one of your Wayne Gretzky's that you got 5 years ago, hate to burst your bubble, buddy, but you got an auto pen. And this is the famous auto pen that he screwed collectors over with. He recently came out with a book, I think it was a year or 2 ago, and auto penned every signed copy. So as you can see, I think it might be the same auto pen, to tell you the truth. But we're looking at this auto pen. I brought this up for a reason. It's part of Wayne Gretzky's history of signing. But you see this Y here? It's straight down, straight down, straight down. Now it's an auto pen, so it's obviously his full signature, so you got to take that into account. But we're going to start moving into some of the autographs that were recently received and are under scrutiny to find out if they're authentic. So here is a litany of them. I think like 5 or 6. Here's one. Here's one, which is a pretty full signature. Here's one. Here's one. There's one, and this one's interesting. This one throws a bone in all my conspiracy theories here, so we'll have to discuss this. And then we're starting to get into in-persons here, okay? So this is stuff that was in-person signed, so pretty much guaranteed authentic unless somebody lied that it was in person. So as you can see, he has a very sloppy signature in person, but caveat, some of these might be signed outside of a venue, and especially with his signature, I could see that going a little more awry and being a little messier. So again, another in person. That one's very messy, probably the messiest one on here. Actually, I take that back. That's definitely the messiest one on here. Okay, so this is a pretty another in person that's pretty down the line. It's not too bad. This one, now we're getting into the cards, which you can kind of compare 1-to-1 on cards. Since 8x10 signatures may vary a little bit. This one's the messiest card that I saw that's in person, so I'm guessing that was probably outside of the game. This one's interesting because this is an in person that we have here. Notice here, no Y. I'm just saying, there's no Y here. It looks like he took his time with this, though. You got the 99 with the short first 9 and the long last 9. Again, took his time on this one. Well, what's missing here? I think there's a Y missing. That's kind of weird. And again, got the 99. This one's slightly longer than that one, not as pronounced as the last signature, but Gretzky's pretty spelled out. Pretty nice signature for an in-person. And I think that's the same card, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what am I concluding here? Let me get to the... Okay, so here's where his signings start. I think this is a secretarial. Now, I think that's secretarial because it's got a looped Y. And on all of the Gretzkys that we saw, none of them had a looped Y. There were some that had a Y. Obviously, his auto pens have a Y. And if we go to some of these in-persons, oops, not too far. There's a Y there. No Y. That's maybe a Y. It's so sloppy, it's hard to tell. No Y. No Y. No Y. So there's a couple examples of a Y, but usually if it is there, it's all the way straight down, no loop. Okay. So like I said, I'm deeming this secretarial. Okay, I'm going to close these as... Oh, I'm not going to close them. I'll just go on. Here we have one straight down. Now, I still have some qualms about this one. I feel like it's way too neat to be his signature. But I don't know. Is that looped? What do you guys think? Does that look looped to you? I think it's straight down, maybe. I don't know. It kind of looks straight down to me, but still it looks way too neat to be a signature. I would probably say this is probably a secretarial, but not the same secretary. But there's a possibility that that one's authentic. We have the loop, the loop-de-loop, which, we'll get to here in a second. Again, the loop. Now we get interesting. No loop anymore. It's messier. Remember what else was messy? Those in-persons. So it could be he was just signing that one faster, and the other ones are authentic. But I think this one's definitely authentic. This is also a TTM. Now we get into the thing that threw me all out of whack here, because I had this nice little Y conspiracy theory going, and apparently these were all got TTM, and I don't know if they were got at the same time, or I'm guessing they were probably sent separately since he wouldn't sign more than one. Mike, do you know if he signed more than one?
He did for some people, yeah.
Okay, so maybe this is all at the same time. I don't know, but on the photo, notice. No Y. On the card over here, it's a Y, but it's straight down. Again, Y, straight down. But then we get the one that throws the loop in the whole process. And by the loop, I mean the loop on the Y. Got a little bitty Y loop there. So I mostly concentrated on the Y because that seemed the thing that was constant through all of them, except for this. And I don't know if my guess is this guy sent them at all different times because I don't think Gretzky would sign 4. I just don't see him signing 4. So if I were to guess, here's my guess. Okay, I would say secretarial. I'm going to say secretarial because that one's just weird. It kind of stands out from all the rest. I would say secretarial, authentic, authentic, secretarial. I think these were sent at different times. That's my feeling. Yeah, so that's kind of where I sit. I think he has a secretary, and he started signing secretarial. I think he started getting some flack for it. Hopefully they can see that because it said present to everybody. I hope they can see that. Mm-hmm. In chat, can you tell me if you saw all those photos or not? But anyways, my theory is he had a secretary that started signing for him instead of auto penning. And I think he started getting some crap for it, and he started signing some authentic. So that is my hypothesis. And Mike, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
All right. The reason I wanted Wayne Gretzky, because I have a dog in the fight. I like when we do the case against, and I got something in it. I don't remember. I think I have a Bob Dole somewhere, but I knew I had a Gretzky. So real quick, this is a 1990 score, and I thought I was the king of TTMs in 1990 because I got Wayne Gretzky. Of course, we didn't have the internet back then. You know, there weren't Facebook groups, but classic auto pen.
But I noticed, is that a loop on an auto pen? Because I didn't see any new auto pens with the loop.
That is this. Like I said, this is 20 years old.
Right.
But I think the key to the auto pen is
thickness.
It's basically a full signature.
The full signature, but where it crosses over like the Z.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that in his actual signature. And you know, his auto pen is very, very clean. Now, Gretzky is known for the auto pen. He does have a very nice paid signature. I think he's done work with Steiner, Upper Deck. When he gets paid, his signature is stretched out. It's beautiful. Okay, he's one of the guys I think that takes pride in his autograph when he gets paid for it.
Right.
You know, there's guys that have a paid signature. I think he is definitely one of them. Now, like what Zane touched on, when he does a lot of the golf tournaments and he signs a ton, but he has a very rushed Gretzky, and it's sloppy and looks nothing like his regular signature. But that's, you know, 50 people shoving Gretzky jerseys in his face, and he's walking the line, you know, just signing away. Now, I bought this from a fellow collector who got him TTM, and I think this is an example of like the fourth Gretzky signature. It's shorter and not the full signature. If you look, try and get this on camera here, the Wayne, what's missing?
The Y.
The Y. What I looked at when I did my research, his W is very distinct. If you look at his rush signature, the way he does his W, it's very distinct. Two tall towers about the same size, but it's not up in the middle. It's very, very short. What else I looked at? The end of the Gretzky, where he does that kind of almost like swoosh.
It's almost like a Y.
Right. That is very unique to an authentic Gretzky autograph. And then the 99. Usually the first 9 is smaller with a larger 9 that is drawn out on a lot of the authentics. I think the well-known, I think it's his office. If you send to that address, you're almost guaranteed an auto pen. I think there was an address that most of these came through that he was indeed signing. I'm part of the Slab City group with the General. I call him the General now. Garrett, because he gets in 5-star autographs and he's part of the military. But anyways, he's in charge of a group that sends stuff to PSA. They're collectors and they want their stuff certified and slabbed. I know that probably 95% of the stuff that's gone to PSA Gretzky related has come back authentic. Now, with that said, there's always the disclaimer that it's a third party, it's an option, or it's their professional opinion. Do they always get it right? No. But it speaks volumes when not just one, but multiple Gretzky's that came back from this address have come back as authentic from a top 3, authenticator. I do think the 2 first autographs that you showed, Zane, the first one was definitely either secretarial. The second one looked like a stamped autograph.
Yeah, it could have been.
It was kind of.
I hadn't seen that pattern though before. It just looks weird.
I haven't either, but just the way it was kind of light in spots and just very uniformed. It looked like it was almost stamped on there. So I think there is, the Gretzky Autopen, which is famous throughout the collecting hobby. There is the Rush signatures, and I think there are the authentics that are coming out of this address, and still some people are still getting them in. It's slowed way down. I haven't got mine back, so I ended up buying one because I got it from that group raw, which that means it wasn't slabbed yet, because once something gets slabbed, it goes up in price. But I had enough faith in it that I spent some money and picked one up because I didn't want my poor auto pen.
What do you think about the crossed the loopy tail? Do you think that is a sign of a secretary, or do you think that is just a variation of a Rush signature? Because I would think you'd have one Rush signature
on the auto pen. The loop.
No, the loop is on the TTM returns. The first batch. So like the first few TTMs to come in that were hand signed had the loops. Okay. And after that, the loops dropped off.
I think though the first ones that have the loop there, I think that is definitely secretarial. Okay. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that about 95% of the stuff that came through, and like you said, maybe he caught some flack and didn't want to get the reputation. Yeah. He's fine with the auto pen because he's done it for, like I said, this is a 1990, and I know I got it signed when I was collecting these.
Right.
He's been doing it that long, and it's not just him; it's his family. Dustin Johnson, who is married to his daughter, he signs auto pen, so he's teaching it. But yep. I definitely think that anything that is looped like that or crossed over, like on this one, you don't see that cross in his authentics.
Right. Yeah, I think sloppiness is actually a good sign if you get him TTM. If it's more uniform and looking more like one of his auto pens, then I think it's more likely to be secretarial. Like I said, the tell that I saw was the loop, but then now that I'm looking at these, all the loops are very uniform signatures that aren't sloppy at all, that look more almost like his certified autos with distinct problems. So yeah, that's Troy. Yeah, we haven't let you talk yet.
All right, I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit you with something completely different. But you guys are the experts, not me. So
clear your porn tabs, by the way.
There we go. How about that? Okay, so I am not a Wayne Gretzky expert, other than I was wanting to get in on the TTM action, but I didn't. So I went searching, and a recent TTM, I think Zane showed this same one, is on the left there. The top right is a JSA certified autograph, and the one below that was claimed an in person. And remember, I'm not an expert. You guys have been in this authentication game more than I have, I think. But I kind of went a different tact. I went to Google Images and searched for Wayne Gretzky certified autographs. And 99% of the Wayne Gretzky stuff that I had seen that was JSA, PSA, or other certified, and this is something you guys didn't mention, so I want to get your thoughts on this. If you look at the ones on the right, they are all in one line straight across the signature. And in all the TTMs that have been coming in, you have the 2 lines on the signature. And like I said, all of the quote authentics that I have seen have the signature all on the 1 line, even if it's a card, which means there's less space. He's still sometimes or somehow got it all on 1 line. And that is kind of where I'm saying there might be something to the top and bottom ones being different than the authentic in-persons.
I will say that the if you look on Star Tiger, there are several in-persons that have on the bottom. So supposedly these people got it in person. And
claimed in-persons, yeah.
Claimed in-persons. So, I mean, one person I can see lying or whatever, but there's 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4. So there's 4 that I have pulled up here that are in-person autographs claimed that are on the bottom. I definitely think that could be a factor, but seeing so many in-persons that are on the bottom, I would say that. But it comes back to uniformity, okay? So what you're showing on the left there, if you pull, go ahead and talk, Troy. Let me see that again. Okay. So that autograph is almost directly below the signature. Okay. And that's I think that's a secretarial. That's got the loop. So
that's what I was thinking as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on some of these, the rushed ones, they're not as uniform. They're still below the signature, but a little bit more to the right and definitely more slanted and rushed.
Agree.
So that's why I tend to lean toward those being authentic, because you have some on that are IP that are a similar way, that aren't directly below and uniform. So I think it's a factor, but I don't think it's a defining factor. I think that he signs below sometimes, signs across sometimes, depending on how much space he has.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the trading cards here. He tends to sign under more often. That could be another thing. If you're looking at certified photos, maybe he has room to do a full signature across. And on the trading card,
that one that I have up here was a card as well. So that's
right. Yeah, and that looks really rushed. That could be a like an outside the game scribble.
Anyway, that was just where I was coming from, because a lot of the photos that I've seen are all on 1 line, all going uphill, so to speak,
right,
on a slant,
right,
all in one plane, going up rather than the 2 lines, and that's kind of what I
feel like those are his signatures he signs whenever he's leaving somewhere and he's given a signature. Because I haven't seen a uniform like Mike was talking about, his certifieds that are done and paid for are very neat, and I'd like to see some of those maybe and see where those sit, because all the ones I'm seeing from on your end are the rushed ones that he probably signs outside of a game.
We did have one comment in chat from Card Cutter, who said he submitted 37 Gretzky's to PSA that were TTM, and so far they have all passed our friends at PSA. So.
Yeah, and we've had problems with PSA, but we actually interviewed the president of PSA. He's a great guy, and we respect him as a company. We always refer people to them first because they are the best authenticator. But we've also discovered many things PSA's missed in the past, including blatant, like printed signatures, certified and stuff like that.
Right.
So what we say here is PSA is a gigantic piece of evidence, and
that's PSE.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gigantic piece of evidence that we take into account when making a personal decision. I never tell people to take something on faith on a piece of paper as gospel. You, as a collector, have to do the research and figure out if you feel something's authentic, because in the end, you're the one owning the piece and trusting that the piece is authentic. If you have any doubts in your mind that something's authentic, you're not going to enjoy the piece. So you need to take certifications into account, of course, but you also need to do some research on some signing habits and certain things people do and that they don't do. And that way you're fully committed to a signature when you buy it, especially if you're going to spend a lot of money, which you would on a Gretzky because he's the GOAT. So,
Yep.
Okay, do you want to do, you guys ready to do ratings? So the ratings, again, are definitely authentic, probably authentic, neutral, probably fake, definitely fake. That's our 5-layered rating system here. And Mike, you can go first.
I'm leaning towards probably authentic. I think the window opened. I think he signed. And as far as I know, they're definitely not the Autopen. So what I think is coming out of that address is probably authentic.
Troy?
I'd probably have to do neutral on this one.
Neutral? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably authentic with the caveat of the looped signatures being probably fake to neutral. Man, I'm in the middle. I'm not neutral, I don't think, because I do think he signed authentically, especially the stuff without the Y. So how do we do this? Because I think we're stuck between probably authentic and neutral. And we've never run into this problem.
You have Card Cutter saying definitely authentic. So
Card Cutter saying definitely. Should we take that? And he's PSA 37 of them.
Right.
So should we take that as a fourth opinion?
Unless you have another phone a friend in your pocket there.
Okay, so we're going to count Card Cutter as a fourth opinion here. And we're going to that would push it to probably authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys okay with that diagnosis?
Yep.
Okay. So we are diagnosing Wayne Gretzky as probably authentic. And you're off the hook, Wayne. Congratulations. Even though I think you used a secretarial earlier on. Just my personal opinion.
Don't do that.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the case against. I know that's your favorite segment, and that'll be back in a couple weeks. We might just go ahead and do nominations next show and keep it going. I think people really enjoy that. So we might just keep doing that because it's not too hard to do. It's just a little bit of research, making us work a little bit. Yeah, we might just do that. Okay, guys, we're nearing the end of the show here, and we wanted to talk to you guys about Facebook TTM submissions. So back on the old podcast, Autograph Weekly, we used to have submissions for graph of the week and graph of the month and graph of the year and all that stuff. We're not going to do that or do it yet because we're still a smaller podcast compared to what we were back then. But we are going to do Facebook submissions. So what's going to happen is 2 weeks from now, the Monday before the next show. So, the show's 2 weeks from now on Tuesday. The Monday before, I'm going to post on Facebook and say, okay, show me what you got in the last 2 weeks. And you guys can post photos of what TTMs you got in. And some of the cool ones we'll talk about on the show. And eventually we might do a little contest here or there with it, but we need enough people to actually do that. So this is kind of get it started, get the community talking and posting their successes. Also, Mike, do you want to talk about what you're going to do on there with your successes?
I'm just trying to get some more interaction. When I get a success in, I post on about 10 different Facebook sites. So I'm going to start posting some of my successes also on the Autographers Anonymous page, just to show you guys who is signing, give you guys some ideas of, people to write to during the week, because we are a bi-weekly show. So during the weeks, you guys can check out the scans. I take pictures. Most of the 99% of the addresses come from Star Tiger. So if you guys want to get somebody, it's most likely on Star Tiger. If not, usually I put a little note in there that says it's not.
Yeah, I think we obviously what you run into whenever you do this is people asking for the address. We may tag. If this is okay with you, Mike, just tag it as Star Tiger for the address. And if it's not on Star Tiger, say public, or if you want to put the website that's free on there, I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
That way we keep those questions kind of to a minimum because we get flooded with them. I know we did back in the day real bad.
Sure. And I'll go ahead and apologize now because I do post, the pictures on a lot of different groups. And of course, you get a decent return and, you get flooded with the, can I have the address? Can I have the address? This is a hobby for me. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm not trying to be a dick and not share stuff, but I'm at the ice rink a couple nights a week with Archer's hockey practice. We've got an hour's worth of third grade homework every single night. Oh, and dinner and, trying to get a run in and work out. And it's a hobby, guys. I'm sorry I don't spend, hours and hours posting addresses. I just can't do that with the returns I get in. So if you message me, I try, but I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah. And so we have 3 categories, basically. Private address, you're not going to get it, so don't even ask. We'll try to put these on whenever we put stuff on Facebook. We'll put what they are. If it's a private address, don't even worry about it. You're not going to get it. And on Star Tiger, if it's Star Tiger, we'll say it's Star Tiger, and you can go look it up. You probably can see the success if we post it on there. If not, there's probably a success on the page from where we got it. And then we might post the website we found it on if it's a public website. You can do it that way. So,
and if you guys are serious about the hobby, Star Tiger works out to like $5 a month. If you're serious about the hobby, pony up the $5, and it's invaluable. And I'm not affiliated with Star Tiger, but it is my go-to. It is the gold standard for autograph collectors. And pay the money.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
And we've all been on Star Tiger, I think, for 15 or 20 years.
Star Archive.
Star Archive back in the day. So, and we've tried other services, and they don't even hold a candle to Star Tiger. Again, we're not affiliated, but yeah, there's that. Okay, let's go ahead and do anything to promote. Let's start off with Troy. Troy boy.
Well, as always, my book is still available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, or wherever books are sold online. Not in the stores. Don't look for it in the stores, although they might be able to order it for you. My YouTube channel, for those who subscribe to that, has changed. So it used to be my name. Now it is just TTM Autograph. It went through a big change in December to get that switched over. And then TTM Autograph on everything except for Twitter. There's some guy who hasn't used it for like 15 years that is squatting on that one. So.
I'm going to get that guy.
But yeah, look me up there. I'm pretty active on Instagram, more than YouTube lately. But once things start coming in, I'll be jumping back on the YouTube bandwagon. So,
all right, Mikey.
That's what I got.
All right. I teased this last week. Of course, you guys can always find me on social networks on the Autograph Network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. But something I'm going to do this year, I'm just going to talk real brief about it because we'll do a full segment on one of the shows. But I'm going to start Autographs for a Cure. If you guys have followed me for any time on YouTube, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I'm not a cancer survivor. I'm still fighting it. But I've experienced firsthand what this disease can do. And I want to take my knowledge of the hobby and put some good back into this cause. The Red Wings, the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit teams do autographs for a cause where the players pay a certain amount and they'll sign your stuff. This is kind of along that same lines. I have a website that's built. I haven't published it yet. It will be www.autographsforacure.com. And I'm sending more stuff than I normally do to people. I'm still collecting. Stuff will go into my collection, but I'm going to take the extras and sell those online, and the proceeds will go to the Orlando Health Cancer Center that has treated me for the last 3 years, and any proceeds I get from the sales will be donated to them. So I'll talk more about it when I go live. Zane brought up a good point. I'll do a Facebook page and do some promoting, but I want to take what I've learned in the hobby. I send out so much stuff and I get in extra stuff, put it in a box eventually to try and trade. I don't do a lot of trades, so why not try and sell some of that stuff and do some good with it? Because cancer is horrible and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And if I can do some good and help some people through this hobby, that's what I want to focus on 2019. So autographs for a cure will be up and running probably within the next couple weeks when I get a little more content built.
Yeah, amazing idea. And I'm sure Mike will probably take donations of autographs down the line. Is that something you'll do? You think about doing?
If once we get going, if you guys want to donate something, that would be fantastic. I'm not asking for it. I've got plenty to put up, but if you guys want to make a donation, you can. Eventually you'll be able to either purchase something off the website, make a donation straight to the cancer center if you want to do that, or if you have something extra in your collection you feel you want to donate. I do have that option on there. So, but again, we'll go over everything in a full segment.
We're going to do a segment.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I teased it last week. I've got the business cards came in, my postcards for the signing stuff turned out fantastic. So those will go in every request that I sent out. So
awesome, man. Proud of you. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so for me, I just want to promote that we have a freaking giveaway this week. Please enter. Go to the website, autographersanonymous.com or graphersaa.com. Again, get you the same place, easier to type in. And hit giveaway. That's all you got to do, people, and enter the information and win the stuff. Also, I run a eBay store, the Savage Library. Type in Google, Savage Library, eBay. I think it's savagelibrary.com. I'll take you there. Also, fabric fobs. I cut up celebrity clothing and I put it in keychains, and you can buy it and haul around a piece of celebrity clothing with you. So awesome, I know. Go buy it. My clever idea. And that's on Etsy. So fabric fobs on Etsy. That should bring it up. And that's all I got. So any last words before we sign off? This is another long show.
Stamps go up at the end of the month, at the end of January.
Buy your stampies.
Stock up.
Save tens of cents and buy your stampies. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. And you take care. All of you autograph addicts.